Okay, good morning traders. Welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap. We'll be looking at live order flow. We're doing analysis on that order flow webinar. This is Bruce, as well as looking for some trading opportunities and also going through trade management. We'll take some positions. Now it is in simulation demo paper trading mode. The reason that we'll go through this is it's not like a trade recommendation whatsoever. It is to show though the criteria for an opportunity and go through that process, as well as once we're in that opportunity, the criteria for managing that process. And that is our goal. All right. So there's a few things I want to go through, but let's go through the disclosure first. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, what I want to go through here is our blue jacket competition. And let me show you where you can find that and what this is all about, because we just finished one end of the month and we're going to start it again. So register now for your blue jacket competition starting June 10th. So you can get as much data in there or content as possible to offer a better opportunity for winning. Okay, so this is here. I'll put the link into the chat for you guys. But this is where you'll sign up, bookmap.com/bluejacket, and then sign up here. Yeah, we need to change the dates here. But you'll basically you'll be signing up, and this is important to understand. You will need to be part of the Bookmap Academy in order to take part in this blue jacket competition. So that's how it works. You will sign up, you'll be a part of the academy, and then you'll submit your content within the academy page on our Discord, or the chat room on our Discord, so that you can others can give you feedback on it as well. And you'll use the hashtag here, BJC, for Blue Jacket Competition. It's exclusive to the Bookmap Academy, you'll be part of the coaching as well. So that's the process here. You can download this special guide we put together by clicking, or I'm sorry, using your phone, taking a screenshot of this. All right. So if you're already in the Bookmap Academy, and you wish to partake in this, you can. All you have to do is when you submit your content, you will use hashtag blue BJC. Now there's a big caveat here, or not caveat, update though on this. We are only looking for, well, I shouldn't say that, only looking for. In the Bookmap Academy, we are only looking right now for trades taken within Bookmap. Those will at least, they will count for twice as much as a regular piece of content. Also for Blue Jacket, you will be considered twice as much if the content has trading within Bookmap. Okay, so that's that, and it's important to go through because we're offering a lot of new trading features in Bookmap. That's why. Let me show you, for example, our new trading journal in here, web-based trading journal, and you can track all of your trade activity in here. This is free, included with any paid version of Bookmap. We're going to start sharing this in the Bookmap coaching and mentoring, the Bookmap Academy room. All right, so this is really good stuff for everybody. We think this will provide much better clarity in your trading and our feedback for you, as you guys know. Okay. Good morning, Rob. You're not feeling so well. All right. Well, sorry to hear that. Yeah, you're going to read all the fine print for that prop trading stuff. Yeah, good luck with all of that, Rob. It's the new way to go. Or a lot of traders are really getting into that. So it's a big part of the business these days. All right, so let's take a look here. First off, I wanna go over yesterday. So there were some I was fighting the trend, I want to go over a little bit of yesterday's trading activity, my mentality, my reflection off of it. As you guys know, this is a big part of that Bookmap Academy. We reflect off of our trading, and we've been finding that those that have self-reflection, that ability to kind of like take a step back. What am I doing? Understand it, how to adjust, are way more inclined to do better and start trading at a much higher level, much quicker. Okay, so important to note that. So we'll go through a little bit of that process in here, and what I did. In fact, here I want to show you in the trading journal. Okay, so you can add multiple journals here. You can also add multiple, or it will go through all of your instruments in here, and you can also filter by date. Let's filter by date. Okay, so today, it goes to the next day here, the 5th. Today's the 4th of June. But we'll go through here and show, well, we'll start with Sunday, so the 2nd to the 4th, basically. And this is my trading activity. This was my activity during the live webinar. And we'll reflect off of it in just a minute. But I did gain it back here. Okay, so I continue to trade here. All my results are in here, and you can't escape it. It's in here, it's done with 1s and 2 lots, basically. It's important to go through this and understand, like, okay, let's go through these losses here. The gains, well, I don't have, that was later in the day, so I really can't go over too much of that. Note, though, a couple of things. This is for all instruments. Okay, now, if I go with just NASDAQ, well, this was a gain. Okay, now, if I go with the S&P, it's a small loss here. Okay, I'm $50 loss for the overall on the day. But if I go with all instruments, then you can see it was 245 gain for the entire day of all instruments. Right. So just start to note some of the features in here, and start to understand what this can do for you. And we have a lot of new features coming up. Multiple journals in here. You'll be able to select a trade and throw it into multiple journals, or any journal that you want. Any thought about the huge buying last hour in the cash session? We'll take a look, Alois. Really good question. Okay. All right. Well, we had the JOLTS job openings just recently, well, let's go through our top-down approach. And you can see the huge spike here, and then you can see it just come slamming right back down. Okay, so Alois, a great question, because we're gaining a lot of insight in here. Look what traders think of this. They allowed it to escape to the upside here, but they're heavy on the offer here, heavy. Okay, so now you can see them pulling in here now too. So is this a big spoof to try to get it gotten down into 5280? Etc. We'll have to, it'll be determined here, but we'll come back over this in just a second. I want to reflect off of yesterday first, and what were my mistakes. Okay, now the best thing to do is go through replay mode end of the day and retrade it. Okay, and that's a process, as well as a feature in Bookmap that is really a strong feature, because what you can do now is really reflect off of it and retrade the day. Okay, now we're going to have a pro, or not a pro trader webinar, a Bookmap Academy webinar on Friday at this time. I will not be presenting on Friday. We're going to have Rob from the Bookmap Academy, and he's been doing really well, and he noted that using that replay mode and trading again and again in Bookmap is what helped him tremendously. Okay, so it's that turning of the corner that we want that kind of insight to. So Rob is in here, and I'll let him speak for himself in that. Good morning, Caesar. And go through all of that, because it's really, really important to reflect off of this. Now, I'm going to reflect off of yesterday. Okay, so yesterday, this candle here in the webinar was we had just kind of it was breaching these highs in here. Get the pen tool out. Hold on. Just breaching these highs in here from the from Friday, and then it failed. It was still a green candle in here, I believe, but we came back into the range. All right, now this is where I think I just made a really big mistake, and this is my reflection off of it. Okay, I would love to get your guys' feedback as well. On the daily candle, though, we're back in the range here between this all of Friday's activity. Now, this was a big day here. This is why I was kind of looking for continuation, at least up into maybe here or up in here. All right. However, this here on the daily, it failed here. Okay, so that's not good. It's back in the range, we also had fundamental data yesterday. Okay, so we had the what do we have? The manufacturing PMI numbers. All right, and those numbers were less than expected. Okay, and therefore we had final manufacturing PMI, which was actually a little bit better than expected. It was a bit mixed, but the ISM manufacturing PMI less than expected. The market has been bearish on some of these things. Now we saw the reaction to that as well. It tested the outside range and failed and came back in. Okay, we had not tested any of Friday's activity in here on the daily, and then we were really kind of pulling for it. We saw like kind of several times like buyers starting to come in, and they all failed. And then we saw sellers come in hard and move price back down, but we came back up and closed back here just slightly red for the day, near these swing highs from Friday. Okay, so I caught it on the way back up later in the day and made up for those losses, but I was fighting it here, and the traders, my oversight or my reflection here is that don't forget about the process here, and let me bring that up. In fact, in the trading room, okay, in the chat room, we can go to our pinned messages. Here, our pinned messages. Just hit the pin up above, and then we're going to look at our day trading preparation plan. Okay, it's a PDF that's free in here, and you can download it. And once it's downloaded, you can open it up. Okay, so this is why it's a top-down approach. Fundamentals, economic calendar. All right. Well, there's reflecting off of this. I should have rethought that. Okay. Instead of just going with order flow, you got to think about the fundamentals in here as well. Okay. And if the order flow looks really, really good, well, then yeah, you can discount maybe some of that. However, it didn't look really, really good yesterday. We noted many times we didn't have all the criteria, or not quite enough, but we took it anyway. That is not what to do. Okay, so learning from my mistakes, look at that economic calendar. Don't forget about it. we did look at the technicals here. Also, higher time frame technicals, a bit of weakness there about the test outside of the range, fail, back inside the range, and those two things together. Now, there's one more thing, if I reflect off of it, that I think I made a mistake on. Now, this is more psychological, and I want to address something about trader psychology as well. It was Monday yesterday, and I was kind of eager to jump in. I know this. This is how it affects me. Also, Friday can also affect me. But I look forward to Monday and a lot of range-bound trading, Monday and Tuesday. But the oversight was that don't be so eager to jump in a trade. For me, in my psychology here, or just knowing myself and reflecting off of it, is be a little careful on Mondays, and let's get a small winner under your belt. All right. Now, I actually did have a small winner in NASDAQ earlier, but I should also build my confidence for the day after some days off. Okay. Now, that's me. All right. I know that about myself. Maybe for you, it's different. You trade really well on Mondays. You are careful, etc. I also have an issue on Fridays. Sometimes Fridays can be very challenging because the order flow looks good, but there's a bigger picture approach of understanding the entire week of trading activity. Okay, so anyway, let's. So we're going to. So on Fridays, sometimes I see a move go one direction, and it looks like it's in line also with the data from the economic calendar, but then it hits a level, it reverses, and it grinds the rest of the day the opposite direction and stops everybody out. Okay, it can be a brutal day, but be aware of that on Friday. That's my kind of insight on it. All right. Now, about trader psychology, I've always really kind of downplayed it, and I still do in a certain way. And what I mean by that, it's really simple. I try to keep it really simple with trader psychology. Can you take the trade? Okay, you know your setup, you know your edge. Can you take it, and can you manage it correctly? Okay, now, so on Mondays, I can't really take it correctly. Necessarily, I have to be attentive to that, and that's the takeaway from this. All right, so it's that would be my trader psychology on it, at least for the day. Okay. All right, let me see if there's any questions here, and then we'll reflect off of today now and kind of correct some of those issues from from Monday. All right, hold on a minute. Let me see if there's any questions here. Morning, Zach. We can cover BTC as well. No problem. Yep. And let's see here. Yeah, I did take a couple trades this morning. Some small winners here. I'd like to go through that actually with you guys. It was earlier down here, and yeah, we'll go through it. And I'll go through the trade management on that. All right, so what do we see here? All right, so and let's go through our process. Okay, so I got my PDF and fundamentals, big picture, economic calendar. Well, we just had some data, the JOLTS job openings, and it was less than expected. All right, so you can see the market went up and it came right back down. Right now, this is an interesting one because we also have the non-farm later today, and then tomorrow we also have ADP, non-farm employment change. Thursday we also have the weekly number, okay, of unemployment claims. So it's going to be it's a little more convoluted outlook with the fundamentals here. Anyway, you can see how traders are reacting though. Okay, the knee-jerk reaction was to the upside, but we see sellers. It's a fight here, coming right back in and moving it right back down. Okay, and you can see pretty nicely in here the bit of a spoof in here. Not necessarily. Let's just see. Yeah, it looks like a nice spoof on a higher time frame here. Basically, all of this liquidity in here, and they pull all at the same time in here, as you guys can see. As price is coming up, they do not want to stay in the market. Now look where they did stay in. Right here at 90, 52.90, and then that's where we see the transaction took place, and then the sellers came right back in. All right, so we're looking at both ways in here. It's to the upside, it's to the downside. So that's what we're taking away in here from the fundamental data. Okay, all right. So moving on, what we think of the economic calendar for the rest of the week. We can also look at. I think market's anticipating a rather not a really bad number, but less than expected forecast. I think it's around 190 or 189K is the number. Right, geopolitical events. So there's all sorts of elections going on. We also have a couple of wars, yeah, that's I don't see anything reflected here in the price action though at the moment. Technicals, bigger picture. All right, let's take a look. All right, our daily here. So we covered it already. And what's the overview here though on the daily? Right. Well, I mean, this was really back and forth in here yesterday, as you guys can see. And today though, we're seeing some weakness here. We've already gone down here to the it's this move in here to the downside, but we're finding some buyers come back in. And here's our data spike here on the 15-minute chart. Look where it went. Who's in control in here, guys? We go through this all the time in here, understanding this in here. And this consolidation in here, and then the drop. Okay, this was yesterday, and funny drop was I don't really see too much except for the 5250 number down here. It's actually no, I'm sorry, that's way down here. So never mind on that. It's kind of a funny area to reverse. I thought don't see too much in there. And then the kind of knee-jerk reaction back up. So in this move in here right now, these are the sellers in control, right? And you can see that we retested back up here and failed and came back into the range. Okay, so that much we know right now. And this is the price action at the moment right now. Okay, we see wicks on both sides in here. Yeah, it's hard to decipher basically. All right, so what are we looking for then? We're going to continue with the process and drill down. Okay, so we went through our technicals in here. We didn't go through point of control, but VWAP, I don't really look at those things, but gaps, yes. In fact, to input it there. Okay, so we've already filled the gap, as you guys can see. Okay, or just about filled it. All right, so here's the regular trading session hours on the 15-minute, and you can see it's really back and forth in here. Market's trying to figure it out here. Boy, if it gets down below here on a retest and some heavy volume, I think we're going to get a nice drop down to the 52.67 swing, or maybe even lower here. Okay, now if we can get back up in here as well, I think we can break it and come back up into this 53.13 high or recent swing up here. So we're going to look for right now insights for the aggressors and the order flow on the bid or offer moving price outside of this little range in here right now. Okay, So we're seeing buyers come back up again right now. Okay, so yeah, we would say that we're more on the buy side at the moment right now. Okay, just because of that 15-minute chart. All right, so we're starting to get into developing outlooks for the day, trading strategies, and consider strategies and setups. Okay, so continuation on up, maybe back up to the swing here. The first swing would be up here at liquidity at 97 here. All right, and yeah, if we can get back down here and we see lots of sellers starting to come back in, especially through our 85 level in here, a lot of sellers look for the continuation down, at least test the bottom of the range here. Okay. All right, covered pretty much everything there. Let's move on. See if there's any questions. Okay, yeah, thank you, Alois, on some clarity or feedback on that. Okay, yeah, thank you, Gray Nichols, on yeah, the bigger picture. I mean, we really want to understand that bigger picture. It's you know, it's kind of the guiding process, and at least it is for me. And that might sound funny because like you see me during these webinars scalping all sorts of little areas, but the bigger picture provides the overall, and I want to go with that direction, and I was fighting it yesterday, and you can see the result, right? So right now up here, yeah, I mean, I'm still looking for this to go higher, due to what we just talked about. Yeah, so important, Alois. Also for short-term traders, absolutely. We want to be on the right side. Back to Rob Davis. You know, we talked about yesterday, talking about you know, not getting all caught up in the details here. Keep that bigger picture outlook and you know, your bigger picture strategy, and let the criteria for that dictate where you're going to go. Okay, it just makes trading so much easier. And like right now, do I want to get involved in this? No, I don't. I think it's going to go here, right up to here. But I just don't think it's responsible to get involved in it. I don't have enough criteria, and I'm buying up here at the swing. Okay, but yeah, I'm what I see in here. I'm looking for it to continue on up to test this 97. Okay, now that's a 5-6 point gain, right? But it's just it's not worth the risk. Right now, one thing yesterday, also reflecting off of yesterday, I think that went pretty well, was we cut our losses really quickly, and you know, for the most part. So there was one that we didn't, and actually at the webinar ended, I even had I had another loss, a bigger loss, but again, like, you know, I was able to overcome it later in the day with some good setups, some clean, you know, clearer setups. But anyway, you know, so up here, do we want to, you know, get involved in this? Well, then what if we do? I mean, we could. What's our time frame? And how do we manage that? And right now, during this webinar, I do not want to take it up here, even though I still think it will come up into this 97. Okay, I just don't want to get caught up in it like yesterday. And yeah, that's my my decision. Okay. All right. So yeah, it'd be great to attend one of those Berkshire Hathaway meetings. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Okay. See how we can avoid this activity here. Okay. I was looking for it to come up here. Well, here's what happened. This is where the sellers came in, and this is actually something I want to cover about. And Rob, I think this will help you quite a bit as well. Is we look at the who's in control in certain moves. You know, this is kind of a weird move, but because no high liquidity was traded up here, and maybe we had some icebergs. We can take a look at that. No, we have buy icebergs, sell icebergs on the downside here. Okay, yeah, so it's really kind of back and forth. However, this is what I want to cover, Rob and Rob Davis. I don't want to confuse Robbed, but like when we look at some of these moves in here, we've covered this a while, but maybe I haven't articulated it quite as well. You know, we want to look at the volume in here on these kinds of moves to start with high volume, and we want that consistency in here in that impulse move. Okay, we're starting to actually get it here as well. Okay, so that's good. That's a good sign. We want that kind of insight, because what it means here is that buyers have to not only come back up here, they have to overcome the selling pressure here. Sellers might reload up here, okay, because we know that they came in here, and we also know that this kicked off a stop run, which didn't happen until later. Okay, now this is objective analysis in here. It's very objective. Okay, we can see it in here. This is new selling coming in, and the stops start to happen here. Okay, the big stop run happens down here. Okay, so if buyers will come back in and retest back up in here, they've got to overcome these sellers, and we don't know how much supply is up here. Okay, that's where we have to read the order flow. We can look at this though in here. We can look at the offer, what's happening in here. Okay, so yeah, maybe we can take let's just zoom out a little bit, a small position in there and look for continuation here. I'd only look for it to here, basically 85, but let's see if we can eke out a little bit more than that. All right, and if not, it hits off of point of control here and bounces and we find buyers, that's okay. But I'm going with these sellers. Okay, that's the view here. Okay, maybe I should actually, we'll see here. Get in 2 so I can get out 1 here at 85. Or I'll just move to stop to break even after that. All right. Anyway, so I'm jumping in here due to this selling pressure in here. Okay, now, and I'm looking for the sellers to try to drive through point of control here. Okay, let's see. Okay, here we go into the point of control. Now, I would anticipate some buyers here, right? So we might just want to. We'll see if maybe one more push here. Else we'll take a scratch or a small loss on it. Okay, the offer looks pretty good. The sellers are coming in. Okay, now I'm looking for a bigger stop run here on the way down as well. I like where my take profit is at the swing here and in front of this high liquidity here. Okay, because I imagine we're going to find some buyers down here. Okay, I'm going to move my stop to break even at this point. All right, now what do? Well, we're going to continue to read this and see if we see a lot of buying pressure. We're just going to get stopped out. Okay, but we're on the side of the sellers and we're looking for continuation here. A little more help on the offer there. That's good. And finding a little bit of buying at the moment. Okay, now note my entry in here. Okay, this is another reflection in here. This is a pretty horrible entry. I'm taking it down here. No, I should look for a pullback and into this action here, and then the continuation. Okay, so here we're going to get stopped out at break even. There we go. All right, so that's that. We gave it a shot. We're looking for around this 80, 81 level, and that's that. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, reflecting off of this in here as well. I again kind of did what I did yesterday. I kind of jumped in, and it's not wise to do that. Maybe look for a pullback. Just looking to optimize this. And if we're looking for a pullback, this idea here that we just covered, sellers consistently trading through in the impulse move to the downside here. Well, we can look for the same in the pullback. Okay, so this is all fractal in that regard, and this is it here. Okay, guys, I really this is well worth taking a look into. Okay, and implementing within your strategy. Okay, so look at the move you would have gotten on the pullback, or the position you would have gotten on the pullback. Okay, would have saved a couple of points right there, at least a point and a half, something like that. Anyway, it's the same same concept though. The sellers here, pullback, continuation. All right, now we did find, look what we found down here around the point of control. Okay, a lot of buyers. Now they need to overcome this up here. Let's see, how's it look so far? I'm not too convinced yet, so I would actually look for a fade up here to begin with. Okay, in fact, maybe take it. Let's see here. We'll maybe look for a bit more. Then we're not going to get it. Not much of a pullback. Okay, there we go. Now we'll see how much demand we have up here. Yeah, we're finding a buyer. We're finding some buyers up here. Okay, so note this though. This is what we want to learn and reflect off of in here. This is where the sellers came in. Here's our reattack back here after trading into this level in here. Okay, this level in here. Let's just mark it up from here to here. A lot of trading. Okay, that's the zone in here. That's kind of the value area, more or less. We need to see buyers overtake these sellers up here. Okay, this is a nice responsive selling move back down into this value area, and we're looking at buyers trying to break it away from the value area here. Now they've got to do it on size. Okay, that's why we need to see them overtake this supply up here. Okay, so this is a critical little area for right now. All right, Rob, we'll see you later. All right, let me go over to YouTube. Anyone any questions in here? All right, sorry guys, over in YouTube I have not taken a look here. We have all sorts of big deal. We have all sorts of study materials all throughout the website. In fact, what I would recommend you do is you go to bookmap.com and go to oops, this is in German. Go to education here. Click on that and go to the Learning Center. So the Getting Started course that we have in here gets you started on understanding how to use Bookmap. And all that trading functionality that I'm going over, you can get it here in this little section. But we start with the introduction, what Bookmap is, how to add symbols, how to navigate, etc. All right, so now that's about just using the platform. But then go to the Market Mechanics course. Okay, this is really essential. We talked about this yesterday, understanding market mechanics at a high level. Okay, what really affects the market on the most binary levels in here? Okay, it really is about orders. It's about orders all the time. The news and the fundamentals, although I had mentioned it's very important earlier, in the end, what matters is the orders. What other people think about the news. That's what matters. And that you cannot escape. It's in the order flow. All right, so I would highly recommend that you watch at least part 1 of this. And then we also have strategies and setups. So I had mentioned in here about, hold on. Yeah. Okay. You know, going through this process and this this is very simple, guys. I know it's by design this way. It's maybe a framework to consider. You know, what kind of preparation you're looking for setting up your trading day. Okay, and then we have the strategies and setups course in here. The continuation pattern here. Let's just go back. Click on strategies and setups, and we only have 2 at the moment. We'll be adding another soon. I've been testing another one quite a bit. So a continuation pattern, okay, like a flag pattern. Okay, strong impulse move, pull back, strong impulse move. Okay, what it looks like in Bookmap, we have that video, and then also how to execute with a checklist here. Okay, we also have a reversal pattern, but I only have it here right now in this diagram form. But you'll probably find it helpful as well. All right. So anyway, all right. So now we've traded up here into, and we found some demand to test back up in here. But this is what we kind of were assuming, and that's why I had an order in here. Was kind of assuming that you know, we'd look for a fade back after testing some of these sellers up here. Okay, and now we've had it. Now here we go again. Okay, now look at these sellers in here, this supply that came in, and are these buyers in here going to take them on? Okay, I don't see it so far. Okay, I see more sellers coming in. Right, this is a pullback to where those sellers came in. Again, this is another fractal thing. Okay, so look at this in here, and then look at the buying that came in back to it, okay, at where those sellers came in. And then is it any surprise that we see more selling coming in? Okay, this is a low volume pullback in this very small move in here. But this works again and again and again. Okay, now let's look at this selling in here. This is how you can capture and scale into lots of trades as well. Okay, so we're starting to trend. God, I'm going to miss it. So here, let's just jump in. I hate doing that at the bottom of the range, but we're looking for, and we're not looking for much here. You know, maybe a retest back down to about here. Okay, and so I'm going to place my target there. Okay, this liquidity in front. I'll be in front of it here. Right now, why am I doing that? Well, I don't see a lot of demand yet. There we go. We're filled. Okay, filled very, very quickly. Now, I'm going to get I'm going to get kind of personal. We just covered this very, very simple pullback strategy in here, and very visual in here in Bookmap. Now that just built, you know, I feel better now mentally compared to yesterday. You know, I didn't let yesterday get to me too much. I know my strategies pretty well. I know they work. I know that the overall is going to work out. Okay, that's why we have the trading journal. This will help you build that confidence as well. Okay, so if we look at you know, last week, for example, here's just from last week's activity. Is that from last week? go with yeah, the 27th to today. Okay, on all instruments. Okay, it starts at 0, right? Or yeah, it should start at 0. And then, you know, end of the week, and today as well, I'm up to $4,700. Okay, now I know again, this is in sim, right? But I know that, you know, this is where you can start to build confidence, and this is where the trading journal will help. And this is what I mean to say, we just covered this little strategy, very simple strategy in here. Even though the entries are horrible, right? We just covered where to enter on this. Yet, you know, I got in at the bottom of the range in here, okay, and it worked out. Now, it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong. What matters is, though, I can trust this. That's what matters. Okay, now how I manage it is something else. That's part 2 of this. Okay, so part 1 is being able to trust and study it, know your numbers, that you have an edge with your trading strategy. That has to be the first step. Okay, we talked about the bigger picture, and then how important that is, and looking at the day, the outlook, the technicals, the fundamentals, all that good stuff, right? But now we're looking for a strategy, and this is where the rubber meets the road. Okay, and this was more technical than anything else. Now, did I get lucky? Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know if maybe it trades down here and we get no supply at all. In fact, maybe we see all sorts of demand come in here, and I get trapped, and I get squeezed, and we get stopped out up here. Okay, we don't know that, right? But I'm going off of what I saw in here on this very small time frame, and it worked out. So, you know, at least, let's put it this way. I kind of view it like this, and we're talking a lot about, you know, not just strategy. We're talking about psychology in here. And I hate to use the P word. The psychology, though, is, you know, I built confidence with the trading strategy. I know it works. I know what I'm looking for. And then it's up to my trade management after that. Okay, but I want to align this, like if I'm at the craps table rolling dice. We don't know. Here's the dice roll right here. This is my short. That's rolling the dice. We don't know. In fact, at this point, it's 50-50. It always is. There's going to be an outcome. Either it's going to win or it's going to lose. And I don't know. You can debate that with a scratch trade, but you know, that's basically the outcome. Okay, and the probabilities on it. It's either going to win or it's going to lose. And then over the whole, using our trading journal, we'll figure out what that's all about. You know, is it a winning strategy in general? But at this time, it's 50-50. Okay. However, if I'm at that craps table and I'm rolling the dice here, I know that 7 is the most common number that comes up with 2 dice. Okay. So 6 and 8 are the next most probable numbers. That's exactly what we're doing here. We're trying to get the probabilities on our side. Hey, you probably heard about this, read about it, seen all sorts of videos, like, you know, hours, days of videos talking about probabilities and outcomes, etc. But we're just trying to align it on our side. That's it. Okay, we want as much on our side as we can get, and then we take the trade. And we know that we have it on our side. We just don't know the outcome. Right? Now, yesterday, losing day. Okay, but look here. I think this was my peak here at almost $4,700. Where are we today? We're over $4,700. Okay, so, you know, basically, I have gone from the mistakes yesterday that you can see in here, overcame, and we're back at this slope here in our profit and loss equity curve. Okay, and we just do it again and again and again. We're looking for, big 6, big 8, or 7 on the dice, right? And we're trying to read and understand that behavior in here. All right, guys, a lot of job owning in here. Caesar, good question on the big win. That was Microsoft. Yeah, I can go over that. Hold on. It was a funny thing. I was actually meeting with a partner, Mikey D, and covering new add-ons like the Market Pulse and the Trading Journal here, the automated trading that we covered yesterday, etc. And then I saw something in Microsoft. I was demoing Microsoft, and we traded a little bit in there, but then I ended it, and then I was like, wow, this is starting to look pretty good. So I ended up here. I'll show you the trade. Yeah, here, right here. Or we can just come up here and select it. Why don't we just do that? Yeah, I actually had a few losses as well, but on a few days in here. But then saw this one in here, and you can see here 1,000 shares, just hundreds of shares in here, demoing, going back and forth. But saw the opportunity, and then it's like boom, okay, 1,700, and that turned out into a $3,100 trade. And this is the kind of behavior or performance I'm looking for, basically. I don't want to see, this kind of nibbling higher like this. I'd rather see these big moves like this, and then nibbling back against me with small losers. Yeah. Oh yeah. You can. I think you'll love it, Caesar. That you've got the MFE, maximum favorable, and MAE. There's going to be more about this soon, but yeah, here you can see like a 204 for me, a 65 against me. Right, so that makes me happy. This is at least 3 to 1 in here. Okay, when against me, 1 part went for me 3 parts. I'm looking for that. All right, and I don't want to see a profit ratio of 78%. I want to see like maybe 40% here. Then I want to see my average winner be in here. Let's just go with like 300, and I want my average loser to be 100. Okay, so I'm above that in here. That's good. Now it's because of this big winner. Clearly, this skewed all the data in here. Okay, so anyway. It's a great thing, Caesar, and we were gonna do more and more with it in the Bookmap Academy. Okay, you'll be able to share your journals. You'll be able to like take your trades, select them, and have a journal up here that maybe you rename it, Caesar's BMA Caesar or something like that, and we can give you feedback on that in here. I can't wait. So we're just around the corner from that, Caesar. So continue to trade from Bookmap, you guys, so we can give you this kind of feedback. Okay, and that's why we're also giving you in the Academy the two times the credit for right now. Okay, summer months as well. We know people take vacation, but we're happy to do that. Okay, also the same for Blue Jacket competition. All right, guys, as I'm job owning, we're missing it. And here comes our supply, our sellers trading back down into the swing here, just below it here. Now, we just traded high liquidity. And yeah, I would look for a pullback here. Okay, now we're going to cover a pullback, well, just to here for right now, 82.10 or so. Or I'm sorry, 82, I should just call it. Get caught up in the cents in stocks. So yeah, 82 even, somewhere around here. And then let's see if we can see some more supply come in. Okay, now I don't see that yet, and let's take a look at this. We'll go through that same process. Rob, look at this in here, and look at this whole impulse move here. You just get rid of that. Okay, so here is where it started, and it started on less volume in here. Okay, the volume really picked up here. Now, how did it pick up here? Okay, well, it's a stop run. Okay, we know that. You know, it's like around 400 or so. Okay, we also know that there's high liquidity down here. Right, so now, so is this really where it dropped from? I mean, technically, yes, but this is actually the area we want to be in tune with. That's where the stop run started and the big selling started. Okay, now we can identify in here. We also know that there's buyers here on the bid. They got filled in here. Okay, we know that this volume in here, a lot of them are stops. Okay, so now based off of this analysis, and I hope everyone's with me. Is it clear? Maybe on YouTube, if you guys have any questions. No, we're looking for demand above this area here, and you can see it comes back and retests this area, and then it fades. Right, so now we're actually looking for more new supply here. Okay, on this drop. If we don't get it, we can look for a squeeze. In fact, I'll do it. I'll put in a buy there, and I'm looking for buyers to squeeze here, only up to here. Okay, only up to there. Okay, based off of what we covered in here. Okay, because this is a stop run. We know it. We know you know there's sellers, but there's buyers here that got filled, and there's a lot of new or this is new selling here. We look for the squeeze. The buyers coming in are new after a stop run. Okay. Now the question is, do we find enough? And you can see we're getting caught up in it here. We're actually getting squeezed, but we're still in it, and we still might get it here. We still might get the buy squeeze here. I like it. I like it for it's not a great setup. I just want to demo it though. And we're running into this guy here, this player with 600, contracts or so. Okay, but we're looking for these buyers to squeeze higher up into just here, just to the swing. Okay, and it might continue, right? But we're just going to take that for now, right? So now it might continue on up to here, right? Our most traded level. That we had kind of outlined here, and we can take this and move it across. Okay. All right. Any questions on this? Did you guys follow me on this? I mean, I know I know you guys over in Discord and Bookmap know exactly what I'm talking about. But we're using the same process that we looked at over here, and then we analyzed it here, and it's different. Okay, it looks the same, but it's different. First off, high liquidity getting filled in here, also a stop run. Okay, so now new selling, where does that come in? It's here. Okay, a little bit here as well. And we would look for the retest back to here, which we got here in this area. Okay, but we're looking for it again. Right, and once we kind of identify this selling in here and this move in here, now I think it's pretty objective here. I don't know what you guys think. Maybe you think it's all smoke and mirrors. I really I'm a firm believer in it. I really believe that what we have here is we have objective information. We know that this is a stop run. Okay, there's no question about that. These are stops. We also know that these are buyers in here on the bid and they got filled. Okay, that's fact, right? That guided our strategy. All right, we're trying to align again this with a favorable outcome. All right. So let me see. Let me read through this here. See if you guys if you have any questions. Oh yeah, you should definitely. Stephen, thank you. Yeah, you should consider joining the Discord. And Stephen provided a link for you guys. I'm sorry, guys. Over on YouTube, there's a lot of stuff in here we didn't get through in the questions. But it's been, well, let's just do a quick recap. All right, we started with recapping, well, we had the outcome of the day, or I'm sorry, the preparation for the day. But we started with yesterday and reflection. Okay, using replay mode to retrade yesterday's action, to look at it again, to reflect off of what were my mistakes. Okay, and then we started with the daily in here and data, fundamental data, and that was my mistake, as well as Monday being a kind of a weird day for me to really put together the trader psychology. I want some quick wins. I want something under my belt to make me feel better that I'm in line and in tune with the market after having a few days off. Let's see, 52.97. Can you identify the buyers and sellers? Oh, well, these are sellers up here. No question. Is that that's your question, Simon? Oh, do we know if they're going short or covering? That we don't know. We just know that there's a lot of supply up there. And they're still in there. No question about it. Oh, good, Zach. So you found that you were looking for. That's funny. You should have been able to easily find all of this, all these courses and educational materials from our learning center. Okay, so guys, if you just joined, then maybe rewatch the recording on this webinar, but go to education and then market mechanics, strategies, and setups, and this is how to use Bookmap. It's not about strategy. Okay, but we go through a lot of stuff in here, like how to trade from Bookmap. I think we also covered the replay mode in here as well. Maybe not. Anyway, replay mode, just becoming a much bigger fan of it. All right, guys, well, let's see. We got our pullback and we're seeing more supply again. So now we missed it, but and I wouldn't have seen it either until here, to be honest. I'll be very honest on that. Not until I see sellers here do I see it. Okay, so maybe we can get a pullback on it. But this again is a stop run here. Okay, so I'm going to be very careful about it. It's a stop run in here where the big selling just came in. Okay, and now this has got to be new selling in here. Now there's a little bit of stops in here, but do you understand why this has to be new selling? Here we go again, a little bit of a stop, maybe some of these guys in here, but it's new selling because this is where we had, down to this point, we had a stop run. So it's got to be new selling. That's what we're looking for. After a stop run, we're looking for more selling to try to reach these areas down below. Okay, do we still see it? Or do we get new buying coming in and try to lift it away from exactly this area here? Okay. If we do, the next area would be to find where there's not a stop run and where that real supply started to come in. And it would be here and it would be here. Okay. 79.5 on up to like 81 and a quarter or so. All right, well, as you guys can see, we're getting really into the nuts and bolts in here. This is really the market mechanics. Here we go, guys, right? This is why we avoid this in here. We look at it here. My knee-jerk reaction would have been to sell this, new supply coming in, hit the demand down below. And I after reflecting off of it or being able to look at these orders in here, I'm going to stay away. I would look for a pullback to either here or here. Now, let's look at the pullback in here. Is this the kind of pullback I'm looking for? No, it is not. Why? Because look at the volume here. Look at the volume spike down here, right? This looks like a potential reversal. In fact, if we get more buying back up in here, let's see if they can get back up to either 81.5 or 81.25 to 82.5. Okay, here they come. Okay, so should we take a shot at it here? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it looks good, still looks good. Okay, so let's see if maybe we'll get a pullback here. Right, pullback should come to about here. All right, let's do it. All right, now again, guys, this is not a trade recommendation, but and we're going off of in here is this demand coming in after this stop run here to meet other supply up in here or here. Okay, again, please do not be trading along with this based off of this. This is for demoing and understanding how to manage this as well. We'll cut this now. If look at the demand we just had, we have exhaustion here. So actually sellers are going to come in most likely and hit down into this liquidity here at 78.75. Okay, because look at the demand here. Okay, this exhaustion. Okay, now it's not playing out. It's actually going for us. Right, and actually I want to get out here, right, up in this area. Yeah, I'm gonna get out at the swing here. Okay, so again, these are small. It's a small move. It's a small scalp. This might work out into a bigger picture move, though. It might come back up to point of control or higher. Maybe it'll come back up into 97 liquidity up here. Right. That was shorts closing. Maybe. I don't really see it. Could be. But all I know is I don't see a stop run, nor do I see some other buyers up in here too. Now again, it could. You're right. ET1. It could be. Right, but it doesn't. From my point of view, I don't know. And then secondly, I just want to see if it still auctions up here with buyers. If it does, then we can look for that squeeze. What do you mean in the subchart? I mean this one here, sure. Okay, yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I mean, my decision was yeah, maybe not so good. A stop run up to here, supply come back in, and boom, to the downside. Yeah, good idea. So this worked out. Maybe I just got really lucky on that. Trying to demo this in here, and then maybe didn't reflect off of that there. Okay, here again, we're getting stop runs all over the place, guys. Here's another one, right? So after these buyers up in here, this is new buying in here. Okay, we're selling to new buying up in here. It is a little bit of a stop run, but you're starting to understand the you rode the run. Yeah, I mean exactly, and I was looking for a stop run. Exactly. It was a good trade. Well, thank you. I mean, it doesn't. I actually, after reflecting off of it, I don't know if it was. It was one thing though, ET1, I would agree with you on is that I am selling to new buyers up here at the top of the range, and I like that. That's the kind of transaction I want to make. Right, and what I'm trying to get at in here, if we can understand some of the order flow and transactions in here, we can start to look for those and take advantage of those opportunities. Okay, So I hope this is making sense. I hope I'm articulate enough on here to go through. But anyway, that's trying to get some of these points across. And guys, like I am convinced, really, I can't. I've said it many times before. On the daily chart over here, you can look at a monthly chart. It is the same stuff. It really is, in my opinion. Let's just look at it a monthly. I have weekly bars. I don't have monthly. Okay, I have to add more bars in here. Okay. It is really the same stuff. Where do we find buyers? Look at the wicks down here. Okay, so we would look for, and look at pretty strong run here. Now, pretty heavy selling too. Okay, so we don't really know, but we do know here that we're going to get buyers covering, or sellers covering. I'm sorry. We know that they're gonna. I mean, they're gonna look at these areas in here and start to say like, maybe it's time to take some profit after this move. Okay, and maybe some buyers, maybe there's some demand in here, and they're like, wow, that's a discount. I'm gonna get in. Okay, look at this huge weekly candle. Now, it took a little while in here, but it went against it. In here, it took 2 weeks, 3 weeks actually, to break it. Okay, on the third week, it broke it. And closed above it. This is the same stuff we're going over on the micro structural levels, and we're reading the same things. Yeah, the one thing we do have is the order book though, and the liquidity. Well, we have a lot more information than we do on those candlesticks. Absolutely. And you can see how we're looking at very specific data in here to give us that insight to the upside or downside. CVD, Swishy, yeah. You know what? I want to cover a couple more things, and then we'll go. Well, first off, for any of you guys in here that are new, you want to partake in maybe the blue jacket competition that we have coming up, or the Bookmap Academy. Let me show you where to go. Okay, like Stephen was saying, you might want to consider going over to the Bookmap Discord room, and we have a really active community and a lot of support. Now, the height of that support, in my opinion, is from the Bookmap Academy. So click on the More button here and go to here under Community, Bookmap Academy. It's a mentoring and coaching program, and you can partake in it to also become a coach yourself. Right, so read through it in here. Now, the blue jacket, sign up for this. You'll have to sign up for the Academy as well, or it includes you. And then you just put in, you'll be creating content in here, and you'll put a hashtag BJC. And then that'll enter you for your content for the Bookmap jacket. Okay, guys. Now we can look at this here as well. All of this in here, and put this into criteria in a higher time frame strategy. And this will segue into your question on cumulative volume delta as well, right? In fact, I want to look at a few different ways to look at this. Okay, we're going to look at footprint too, and we're going to look at volume in the subchart here as well. Okay, so it's starting to look good. Look at the buyers picking up here, right? So remember how we talked about this not being a low volume pullback? Remember that? We still have the bars here that I just hid them by footprint. Hold on. Yeah, right here and right here. It's not a low volume pullback. It's new. Well, you know what? I was incorrect. It's not new buying. It's sellers and a stop run. My bad on that. Here's our stop run here. Okay, new buying is in here. Okay, we know that. And then we were thinking of writing the stop run up, and we got a little bit out of it, a little bit of a stop run here. But we are certainly selling to new buying, okay, and a little bit of stops. Okay, so and that's what we covered. We really like. Okay, we're making that transaction and then offing it to new buyers, and then they're hurting in here basically. Anyway, and now with this starting to meet our criteria for a reverse head and shoulders or a reversal pattern. All right, so let me get rid of all the drawings here, and we can also cover the cumulative volume delta. Okay, so here, this is where we start to see the transition. Okay, even we talked about low volume pullbacks, right? We talked all about it, like on the way down in here, and then how we can turn that into trading strategies. In here, we're looking for a turnaround, and we can see the shift starting to unfold here. Okay, pretty nicely right now. So where are these buyers going to go? Well, they're going to go up into here. I'd look for a move up into this 85 level here. And we'll see, maybe they can get up into 86.5. Maybe it can turn into a much bigger move up into 90 up here. Okay, so what we're talking about though, and we talk about this in the blue jacket, I'm sorry, the Bookmap Academy a lot, is your criteria leading up to this potential reversal. Okay, so sellers, not a low volume pullback. Buyers, okay, sellers back and forth in here, higher low in here, and then more buyers and more demand coming in. Okay, which we don't really see until, you know, maybe around here, getting above these guys. Now, yeah, let's see if buyers can take control away from this area and come back up into the areas we just talked about. Okay, and yeah, you can, you know, look for taking a position on that as well. Okay, we just missed it. We got some interesting order flow in here. Sellers did take these guys on, but here, look at the bid, look at the offer starting to pull. They don't want to trade with this new demand coming in. Okay, it's also a bit of a stop run right there. Anyway, so now how can we also look at this transition between this is being sell side and this is being buy side? Okay, and our vertical line here separating them. Okay, so how we can do that is also with cumulative volume delta. Right, so let's take a look here. All right, now sellers, we see the cumulative volume delta just in here just going sideways, but then we see our capitulation here and our stop run, and then our buyers coming back in. Okay, now how much buying? Not a whole lot. In fact, there's some divergence up here at this swing at 82. Here's our divergence. Okay, so it's not a low volume pullback, but it is slightly divergent actually. It's not that big of a deal. If we look at it here, we see the almost equal. Okay, so not bad then. Then we know that, you know, this in here is kind of equal to this in here. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so this versus this. Right, now we want to understand this in here. Okay, and we said we kind of missed it, yeah, but we're looking for this transition to take place, from sell side to buy side. Okay, and then we're looking for where it's going to go and test. So high liquidity, as well as where those sellers came in. Okay, and that would be here. I'm sorry. First off, I like this area here, and we do see them come in here. And then the next one would be up here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we can also look at the swing up here. We said around 90. Yeah, maybe 92, but I'll just make it easier for now. These are the areas I would look for. Okay, now it's already traded to both these here basically. But let's also put a measured move in here. I'm a big fan of measured moves. Okay, so we have a range in here. Okay, we're going to duplicate that range, and then we're going to move it back up. Okay, does it meet criteria? All right, so for me, I would in my trading strategy, I would take this here and I would move it down. Okay, and that would be my zone that I'm looking for. Okay, so now I'm looking for a pullback on low volume of selling and buyers to come in, and I'm also looking for a bid, okay, a strong bid. I don't see a strong bid right now. The pullback looks pretty good. It came back down to this swing here. Okay, now we're looking for our aggressors as well. A bid starting to show a little bit more interest. So is the offer. Okay, now we're looking for, you can even look at these micro ranges in here. Okay, I want to see buyers back up above this little area here. Okay, around 84. Right, makes sense for the continuation on up to around 90 or so. All right, so let's get back to cumulative volume delta. How's that helping us? Okay, well, you know, we just went through and looked at all the buyers and sellers in here. This is just showing it in the subchart, in the accumulation. And that's it. Such a simple indicator, but it can give us a lot of insight, because maybe in this chop in here we can't really see what's going on. And if you don't have that clarity, cumulative volume delta can help. Okay, and we can look at, like, well, here's our stop run. Here's back up, higher low in here, in price, also in cumulative volume delta. So they're matching. I'm really not getting too much insight out of it, to be honest. Another one, though, in understanding this kind of sweeping change in here, like this, okay, in a reversal. Another one that can be really helpful is that footprint chart. Okay, and we can look at footprint here. I'm not going to have the footprint on the chart here. I'm just going to look at delta, okay, in the subchart down here with the volume. Okay, and we look for a transition here. Look at all this selling. It's all negative numbers, high numbers. Look at this one here, 90. Okay, compared to 1780 almost. 1800 here, 1800 here, 90, minus 53. Okay, not buyers yet, minus 589. Now we see a transition here. Okay, now we can zoom in a little bit more, and we'll get more of a breakdown here. Okay, but we want to see that transition take place from sellers to buyers. Okay, cumulative volume delta can help. This footprint can help. Other add-ons can help as well. Okay. I don't have it here, but we have an add-on for. I don't know why I don't have it. Yeah, we should have it here. Somehow I lost access to it. The imbalance indicator. Okay, buyers versus sellers. Right. So let's see. Did we do the right thing in here? We're looking for this kind of buying to come back in. Well, for a move higher. Now, there's a couple of caveats in here to look at. To not look at just this data alone. In this reversal, potential reversal alone. Like a lot of trading is taking place in here. It needs to get through this area in here, which is our high volume node right now. And you can see this is just a move back to high volume node, and then you can see sellers come back in. It would be great to see if this here was back up above. Okay, so or let me put it differently here. we'll leave this here. What if the price action was down here? That we saw this move down here. Okay, and then what we could look for then, so it wouldn't be here. It'd be down around 70 or so, not 80. Then you can look for a really nice responsive buying back to your point of control. Okay, makes sense. So, but this, we didn't have that. We have this here, and we need a lot of buying to be able to trade through that. Okay, I hope that's not confusing. It's really basic stuff when we boil it down. Where all these transactions are taking place and how are traders reacting to it. Okay, look what's happening right now. Look at that bid and a bit of an offer too, right here at 80. Okay, there's a bit of a battle going on now. This is the European close. That's another factor to look at. Timing of the market. Throwing a bunch of stuff out there, but it is important. Do you want to really get involved with the trading this right now at a time where it's kind of volatile and reactionary? Okay, do you really want to get involved in here with all of this in here when you're looking for a reversal? That'll keep you away from it, which is good. You want to filter out as much as you can. Okay, try to hit only the big 6, big 8, and 7s. Let all the other numbers fall by the wayside. We're looking for higher probability. Okay, and we have confliction. All right, let's see here. Any more questions, and we'll wrap it up. I think I went over CVD with you pretty well. Swishy. Let's get to the moon, Gary. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can see what's happening here. We're looks like a very high probability of trading into this 73 liquidity right now. Very high. We tested up here. It failed. We're seeing a lot of sellers in here. Down here where we're looking for that potential reversal. Now think about it too. Got a lot of new buyers in here looking for that reversal, or they're going to get hurt right below the swing here at 76. So now we need to see this. We've got a lot of nice things here. We've got an offer here. We've got some pretty heavy selling coming in, and we have high liquidity as a target down below. Okay, so you can probably look for this as a likely move into and test this 74 liquidity here. All right, yeah, good stuff. Now, yeah, I'm glad. Thanks, Swishy. Yeah, we covered not only cumulative volume delta, but also footprint and understanding. We're just putting numbers behind it here, okay? And understanding very objectively with the numbers in here. How is that helping us? And you can see, like, we zoom out, it accumulates in negative. Here's our negative 4,500. This is -2 though in the overall. And in here, look at this. Now you have a better reading and understanding in cumulative volume delta. Look at the move back up here, and compare it to other swings. Okay, so up here, no, it's still doing it. It's correct. If I zoomed out, it didn't look right. No, it's correct. These swings in here, it broke it and went up above it. But yeah, this is the move we're looking for now into 74, and looks pretty good. Now the question is, can we continue? Can we get to some of these swings back down here from pre-market? Okay, and maybe even test 50 down here, 52.50. All right, guys. We'll wrap it up next time on Friday. We won't have this webinar. We'll have Robbed demo how he goes through and uses that replay mode. Really highly recommend you guys use it and trade within that replay mode. Go through this again. What did you do right? What did you do wrong? How can you improve your criteria and your trade management? All right. Yeah, thanks everybody. If you like this, please hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Come over to the Discord. At least we have that. You can get the day trading prep plan, and there's a lot of other resources as well. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you, guys. There's our move into 74. Let's see if we can continue. This is where the buyers or the sellers met the buyers here. No question. Right. Now we got to see if there's follow through and more supply to try to reach into these areas here. All right. Have a good day, everybody, and we'll see you on Friday with Rob, and he'll go through his process in replay mode, etc., and what he's learned from the Bookmap Academy. All right. Thanks for coming, and we'll check you out on Friday. Take care.